Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everybody, to another great show with us, Supernatural Girls. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and I'm here with you, Miss PK. You're joining us this evening.
Yes.
So happy to see you.
I'm so happy to be here. I love spending time with you.
Well, thank you. And you know, we are soul sisters. There's no
Oh,
question.
God, for sure. We're named the same. That's the connection right off the bat.
It is. Yeah. Exactly. And what a guest we have coming up in a couple of minutes.
I am so excited.
Wow.
Fabulous. When I read his intro, I was, oh my God.
I know. He's a true celebrity. And
Yeah.
we just, like I told Bill, our producer, we only have the very best on the show. And
Well, of course.
this
Is
gentleman
there a doubt?
at the top. No doubt. No doubt at all. But first, I wanted to ask everybody to follow us on TikTok, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook. That way you can keep in touch with all the great shows that we're going to be offering. We do have a show coming up on Halloween that was taped earlier today with Teresa Chung, Hauntings and Dream Hacks. Oh my God, it was a great show. We're going to share it with you on Halloween, so make sure to look for that one. I'll be posting times, etc. And anyways, I can't believe it's almost Halloween.
Oh, I know it.
Where the
Well,
time?
no, it's Halloween. We're getting ready to go into November.
Yeah,
And I took a quick look at that and I'm going, oh.
I know it. I feel the same. So what do you want to tell us about the numbers? Anything today before we bring in
November is going to be a very interesting month because it's going to change everything. We're going into a 2 months, so everybody's going to be ultra sensitive. There's a lot of sensitivity going on, but it's a time that you really get a chance to learn to know your true path, because it's also an 11, which is a high spiritual number.
Oh, I like
So
11.
lessons can be learned, and getting into the future is going to be interesting. Take a look at things. Don't be overly sensitive, because 2 does make us very sensitive. But it's also dealing with partnerships, relationships. And I think there's going to be some people out there looking around for that special somebody.
Okay, it's time for that.
I should give him my number.
I know. It's time for you.
Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking with it.
I think you should.
The most important thing, lessons are going to be learned throughout November.
Okay.
So keep a little pad on hand, write things down as they transpire, because it's all about partnerships, relationships, but our sensitive side. And it is going to open up something more spiritual. And I can't put it all together yet because I've been working with it on and off the last couple of days. And I want to get it fine-tuned where I can say, hey, look at this good stuff.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for you to do that. We're all edge of our seats. Great. Well, thank you for that. And so let me talk about our guest a little bit.
Yes, that's the most important part of the night.
Yes, it is. He has a long resume and bio, but I'm going to give you some of the high points. M.D. Selig didn't just write for the screen. He lived a life worthy of it. A decorated Marine combat jet attack pilot. Oh, my God. His real-world experiences flying missions around the globe are the engine driving his cinematic storytelling. Armed with a history degree from the University of Arkansas, Selig dives deep into the questions most are afraid to ask, merging the gripping tension of his real-world experience with an historian's eye for ignored details. The results are cinematic stories that have captured audiences on Netflix, Showtime, and Amazon Prime. Now, with his highly anticipated debut novel, Hush, Readers are left wondering what other covert histories lay in wait. Now, I just want to say a couple more things. MD flew combat missions and sorties for Operation Desert Storm in an A-6E Intruder, ranked captain as a squadron intelligence officer, awarded 5 air medals, including 1 with a Combat V for valor, served a total of 8 years in the United States Marine Corps, wrote, directed, and starred in Southern Justice, which aired on Netflix. Wrote, directed, and starred in The Gunrunner Billy Kane, currently airing on Amazon Prime. He's also produced multiple music albums and music videos. He is an accomplished musician. I better just bring him on because I could just...
I was going to say, I want to know what he doesn't do.
I know, but here he is. Welcome. It's so great to have you here.
I'm so honored to be here. I've been looking forward to this.
Oh, we are very pleased to have you with us.
Because you have the goods on certain things. And I know some things you still can't talk about. So you just let us know, as we question you. But we'd love
Absolutely.
To know what you can talk about. And you know so much. You know the inner workings of these people's minds. You know how they compartmentalize things to keep it secret. It's fascinating. And you're still alive to tell the tale.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That's a plus.
I'm very alive.
What made you want to talk about these secrets?
Oh, that's a good question. So I was... I'll give you a quick Reader's Digest version of kind of how I got there. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So as you mentioned in that fluff me up wonderful introduction, I came out of the University of Arkansas with a history degree and went into flight training for the Marines, which means going through Navy flight training, and went through Pensacola, Florida, and then Beeville, Texas, and then was selected for A6. It's an all-weather attack jet. The A6E Intruder, and went through Whidbey Island for that training. And then my Marine squadron that I was sent to was based out of Cherry Point, North Carolina. We immediately went overseas in 1990. And by the end of that year, we were the last squadron to arrive to participate in Operation Desert Storm. Wow. And this is coming to the answer to your question of how did I get into
telling secrets,
wanting to tell secrets and that type of thing. I happened to be at that time the squadron intelligence officer for my squadron. So you have different billets as a pilot. So sometimes you're the maintenance officer, sometimes you're the logistics, whatever. You can be any particular thing. But during the conflict, I was the squadron intelligence officer, which meant that I was in the secret room reading top secret briefs during the entire Persian Gulf. So I'm physically doing missions, so I know what I'm doing on the ground and what's kind of out there, so to speak. But at the same time, I'm reading top secret briefs that are coming in from all over the world, some for our squadron, but basically the top secret radio traffic. And then on top of that, I'm coming into
talking. I have to get water. It's the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. No, water. I know the feeling.
I'm going to keep him company. You just go.
Yeah, I got Patricia. I don't need you.
Okay,
I got Patricia.
This is true. Okay, I'll do that.
Like a double header here.
It's great. So anyway, I was then going to the officers' mess hall for meals, and in the mess hall was a huge CNN screen clear back in 1991. So I was getting kind of three, you could say I had 3 antennas going. I had one from the top secret briefs I was reading, one from what I was actually doing, and one picking up information from CNN telling us what they wanted the world to know. And my experience was that during that time, I just thought something is just not right here. There's something above all of this that is directing this. This is not the military, because the CNN was saying, Saddam has weapons of mass destruction, and that's why our troops are there. But the top secret traffic wasn't saying anything about that. And what we were going after had nothing to do what I was flying missions on really had nothing to do with, I could say in the moment, with trying to discover if there might be nuclear weapons involved, and so I was just a little perplexed at the time about who was directing the whole thing. And I had a sense like this is above our government even. There's just somebody else is manipulating events here. So that's what kind of got me started on wanting to delve more into covert stuff. And obviously when I got out of the military, I went into screenwriting. So I'm writing stories in LA for everything from love stories to any kind of story that a production company wants me to write on a particular historic individual or whatever. So I'm way into research. I'm way into trying to determine if I'm going to write a fictional character. Even let's say in Hush, you'll read about Eisenhower at Roswell. Well, most people would not place him there, but my research says he was absolutely there. He had just finished the war. He was sent by Truman. He was about to, a few years later, he would be president, but he had just finished World War II and became kind of the all-time, American iconic general. Right. And then Roswell happens and everyone is at Roswell. Truman wanted all the bigs there. Patrick LeMay, General LeMay and Oppenheimer was there. Everybody that you can imagine was at Roswell, even though it was kept covert because of Truman didn't want to freak out America, but he wanted to understand what was happening because they were probing at the time our only nuclear base. So Roswell in 1947, if you remember, the only nuclear base on the planet.
Right.
And once Oppenheimer fired off the Trinity test in 1945, you're talking about shockwaves that go throughout the multiverse. So suddenly every alien head is turning going, oh, what have the humans found? They've got a firecracker and they have no idea how powerful it is. And they're messing with it. And we're going to go investigate. And that's what happened. So I've just found it fascinating to kind of continue my intense research thing, but to bring the point of my storytelling towards our covert past, not what's in all the history, but not what's not in the history books that I was reading, but what I kind of knew had occurred, but hadn't really been brought into a story that people can actually read as a story. And then if they want to look into, Eisenhower in Selig's book is in an armed convoy, if they go into research, they'll figure out how I came up with that. Because I can't write a scene until I literally have vetted it from every angle. I need to know every person that had a sighting of Eisenhower. I need to know every Army guy that was in there that said he was in our convoy. We picked him up at the airport in the middle of the night. We took him out to the Split Rock crash site. I have to find all these different individuals. It's just I can't write a scene until I know it organically. I have to know every detail, what time it occurred.
Yeah. So isn't that hard to find out because a lot of these people have passed on?
It is. But as you know, you can still read accounts of Betty and Barney Hill and have a pretty good idea of what they went through, right? There's enough accounts. There's enough accounts that were in print, from their psychotherapists that regressed them and didn't believe them initially, and then they put the accounts out to the follow-on of their lives, and everyone who talked about them and just said they completely changed after that event and carried it for years. So you kind of get a sense of like, okay, I know what day it occurred. I know roughly where they were driving. So you can, if you do enough research, you can certainly have a very good picture of what was occurring. I didn't write that scene in Hush, but that's what I do. So I love the research.
So you put the puzzle pieces together.
Good grief. You do a beautiful job of it.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Yes. So I have so many questions for you. And some of them.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Patricia. Don't hold back. I'm here as long as you want to be here.
You don't have to worry about that.
He doesn't trust me.
I'm not going to pertain to your book, but I heard you talk about the Malaysian air flight that disappeared. Is that okay if we talk about that?
Absolutely.
Because this is one of the craziest things, and I have felt that nobody has given a proper, reasonable explanation about it but you. So tell people about it, if you would, how this plane disappeared from radar. All these people were on this plane, never to be seen again, but yet there was a phone call that came from one of the passengers after the plane disappeared. Why? I mean, people are saying it crashed, but then how does somebody get a phone call out? There was something about what we're seeing isn't human. I don't know if that was a made up thing, but you'll tell us. This is a fascinating story, and I think you're on to the truth.
Sure. Thank you. So it started actually in 2014, being a military pilot and having spent so many hours on radios in aircraft as they're flying. You very quickly pick up a sense, because English has to be used throughout the world. Wherever you fly, all pilots, no matter what language they speak, Chinese, German, whatever, when they go to an airport, any airport, it's English.
Really?
So pretty soon, that's the worldwide language for all airports. It's the only way they can do it, right? Because otherwise there would be aircraft up in the air and somebody couldn't talk to somebody else. So you have to be fluent in English to be a pilot in the Chinese, to be a Malaysian pilot.
For heaven's sakes.
Yeah.
So right when the radio calls were released, just a couple months after the flight, I was, and this will be covered in hush, I'll just give you the rough details. I was sitting there watching the post-episode control of what was happening with the media, and what was perplexing to me was I'm listening to the radio calls, and from the moment after the jet lifts off, I knew immediately that, wait a minute, all the ground calls and the ground call for liftoff saying we are cleared for takeoff was all by Farik Hamid. It's absolutely Asian. And I will tell readers one thing right now. If you get the audible version, you're going to hear the actual radio calls of the CIA hijacker who takes over the flight.
So, yeah.
Right. So I was hearing this clearly American voice right after liftoff. And so I knew in 2014, when no investigators were mentioning, wait a minute, because if I'm a voice investigator investigating those calls, I would have immediately stepped forward and said, that's no longer Asian for the rest of the flight. No one brings it up.
Wow.
But I knew at the time, from being in the military and doing missions, that you tend to, the military and obviously anybody who's doing a covert mission, you also control the post-mission media. Mm-hmm. And again, I told PK, did I say that right? Did I say that with the right verb?
You did.
I told PK when you were missing that I had a sense, because I was reading top secret briefs during the conflict, because I was the intelligence officer, and watching CNN and then flying missions. I had a sense that there was something above everything that I was watching. So when I was watching the Malaysian media, the Malaysian disappearance media for months afterwards, and I'm listening to the radio calls, I knew immediately that it was fully controlled. I knew the jet had been taken. I knew it had been taken. And I thought, well, I don't have enough evidence. I've got a busy life going on, but that is an American making those calls. And he stutters on the call sign of the jet for the entire flight. And Farik Hamid, the co-pilot who did all the calls on ground and departure control and ATC and even to tower control, his final call, he never stutters. And it's absolutely Asian accent, and you'll get to hear it on the audible version. You'll get to hear his calls, and then you'll get to hear all of the calls of the CIA hijacker pilot. So the reason I waited is because I thought, well, at some point, someone's going to mention something. And this will end my little story on the Malaysian flight, because I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
Incredible.
isn't it?
Tech experts across the globe in 2025, this year, cross-reference travel manifest by known military and military contractors for that night, and they found a gentleman named Benjamin R. Waters who went onto the flight. And the way they identified him first was that only this year they saw that these satellite pings that had been still being received by satellites far away from the intended flight path, but directly toward Great Nicobar Island, which is where some alien technology was used to teleport the jet. That's in the book. You'll get more of that. But these tech experts across the globe finally have the technology to decode what was called an art file sent by an individual on the flight to a satellite, and it's pinging the satellite when they're out of Wi-Fi range, and the jet is what we call dark. It's not seen by any radar anywhere. There's lots of details about why it's dark, not just from radar, but because it's being cloaked by an American AWACS. All those details are in the book. But I will tell you this, because Benjamin R. Waters, even the tech experts thought, okay, this is a dude this is someone on the flight is still sending out pings and they're encrypted. And they're encrypted with nested SHA-3 hashing, which means that's military grade level encryption. So imagine you have a device that you could push a button and send a burst from the flight out to a satellite to say, hey, we need help, or hey, this is what's going on. Well, it would send out a burst, but if it was to someone that didn't want anyone else to pick that burst up, they would encrypt it, meaning what would normally be a sentence is now, or even a word, is now split into 6 art files. So unless you know how to decode all 6 art files for each split second of that transmission that hit the satellite, you have no idea. It just looks like satellite noise. Up until 2025, all of the tech experts just assumed this was satellite noise, until this year when the technology came out and they realized, oh my God, this is a transmission from an individual on the flight when the bird is dark.
Oh my goodness.
Far away from Wi-Fi, far away from any satellite that would normally pick up a satellite transmission from that jet. And the transmissions are coming from a jet that's traveling toward Great Nicobar Island. So they did the research on who is this individual, because they can then cross-reference, and this is where they cross-referenced the travel manifest with all known military operatives.
Right.
Then Benjamin R. Waters comes up as a known CIA operative and subcontractor. He's the pilot on the flight.
Oh,
whoa!
My goodness.
Okay.
And his encryptions, you can go into the book, but I can absolutely promise you this.
It's incredible.
It's an absolutely tragic story. What occurs is all in the book. It's horrific what occurs for those folks. And it's one of the main reasons that kept me writing, because I thought, I now know almost moment by moment what occurred to those passengers all the way to their very end.
That's in Hush. That's in your book. See, that was going to be my next question. I wanted to ask you, are these people alive or dead?
No, they were all massacred.
Oh, good Lord.
Several were dead because it's a CIA hijacking crew. I don't want to give too much away in the book. It's a CIA hijacking crew that begins taking over with silencer equipped weapons while the jet is taxiing, because the pilots are occupied with taxiing at night. It's 12:40 in the morning, so it's dark. And there's only 2 pilots that fit in that cockpit of a Boeing 777. It's not that big. There's only 2 seats, and they're busy taxiing and doing pre-flight takeoff stuff. Meanwhile, there's silencer-equipped weapons of 6 individuals that are operatives for the CIA that are executing cabin crew silencing the passengers to let them know, like, you talk and it's going to end right now. I won't give away any more about that. You guys can read the book.
We've got to get the book.
Well,
That's all there is to it.
We have it. Thanks to Lincoln, your assistant, who I want to say on the air is a fabulous human being. And he was so helpful to us, and we love him.
He's amazing.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this story is heartbreaking. We can't wait to get back to the book and details, but it is heartbreaking to think how people are so expendable when it comes to the agenda of these secret organizations.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Mm-hmm. Very sad. Okay, so I have another question of a mystery. PK and I have brought this up for years. Nobody seems to know anything about it. Maybe you do. New Mexico, observatory. Black helicopters start circling this observatory. The government comes in and shuts it down all of a sudden. And then the town is left out of it. The sheriff doesn't know what's going on. The townspeople don't know what's going on, but everybody is being controlled by the feds or whomever they were that came into this situation. Nobody has ever been able to say what happened that forced this event. However, there's also another aspect to it, which you may know about. There was a Belgian tourist who was found dead on a nearby trailhead, and they have never released his body to his family. Very suspicious. So what do you know about it? Anything?
So I have read something about that account, and as with all of these accounts where you have an alien interaction occurring, from just the details that you've told me, if I have to do a best guess, he was most likely abducted and dropped. A lot of times humans, and this is covered in Hush as well. Yeah. A lot of times, you remember all of the cattle mutilations and stuff like that, where they'll find a lot of the cattle mutilations because the technology of the mutilations, where all the plasma is removed, forcibly removed, and there's no surgical marks anywhere. Right. The eyes are removed, the genitals, everything, reproductive organs. It's very clear that it's a technology beyond what we have to do that. But a lot of times the cattle were found to have been dropped from high altitude because their leg muscles are crushed, like drop as if they were just a bag of stuff. And when they hit it, crushes everything. Humans have been found in the same state. So I'm just going to throw this out about that event.
Yes.
And again, this is just my total speculation, but from all the accounts I've read, I'm assuming if the guy was never released, the body was never released.
No, it wasn't.
I'm assuming somebody found this person in a state of post-abduction fall, so they were dead, and probably plasma removed and maybe many other parts removed. And then right away, the authorities are called. But when something like that occurs, where it's an alien event, like an abduction, where it's suddenly now public, that's when you have basically what I call the cabal steps in, which is above our government, above all governments. They have all of the connections to every police department throughout the world. They have, they are the first to be notified of anything to do with any alien. They are able to bring IPU teams, which are teams put together. You'll learn about those in Hush, which are basically a scientific team, a recovery team. There's also what's called the containment and laundry squads. The containment squad will be individuals who literally confront the public, especially anyone who's seen anything.
Yeah. And
will give them very stern warnings. If those stern warnings don't do what they're supposed to do, then the people are called, and then you have a laundry team. And then you start having death by suicide, where it may be an upstanding individual, but if they want to tell what they saw, they may suicide. And it's what we call death by suicide. It's a cabal. They're they're found hanging. They found that they shot themselves. They drove their car off a bridge. It's all what we call death by suicide.
Yeah, with a little bit of help.
A little bit of help, but with a situation like that where you don't have any more information other than the body's never released, that tells me the body was in a particular state that would clearly show the media this is not of human interaction. This is this is an alien. Yeah, something had to be really wrong if they never release a body.
And well, here's a story we heard. We couldn't confirm it, but we heard that there was an alien that got loose, because we know that there's all kinds of bases right underneath in New Mexico. So this is one of the stories, and that the alien ran into the Belgian tourist. Didn't mean to kill him, but things happen, and so that I thought is a strong possibility too, because it might also explain all of the agents that surrounded the whole area. If they felt something had escaped, they wanted it back. They wanted because they knew people were afraid, and incompatible physiologies can create accidents and other things. So that's a possibility, I guess. But
absolutely. And there is stuff happening 50 floors down at Kirtland where aliens are being. I mean, you can watch Emery Smith on Gaia TV.
Yes.
And he tells an amazing interview about, I'm dissecting aliens from different alien races, and then I'm working next to a 9-foot-tall praying mantis who's doing the surgery to genetically manipulate an alien we are working on, and I'm the assistant. And in that interview, Emery Smith talks about, because they ask him, well, did anything really strange happen at Kirtland? And he said, well, all kinds of things happened, but the thing that he remembered was they were trying to blend like a buffalo with a lion mixed with a human, and it was going to be like a super soldier animal, and the darn thing got loose, out onto the New Mexico environment there right outside of Kirtland, and they literally had to target. This thing was so gnarly, it wasn't that you could send troops after it. They had to target it. In other words, think tanks, think they had to literally laser target this thing to destroy it. So I'm just saying that if the human that you're talking about encountered an alien can mean a million different things, and depending on what
different races,
what covert site you're at, it could be anything, right?
Right.
But what's great is shows like this, like yours, that are calling out like this occurred, tends to shake up all of those folks who say there's no such thing as alien, this, that, and the other. But what happens is you're doing the reprogramming, as the cabal has been programming all of us since before the 40s, that there's no such thing as aliens. And you're doing if you two just keep talking and keep saying it, you're switching it. The new generation of kids coming up are going to be like, of course there's aliens.
Of course.
Both Patricias said it.
We did. We
and
always
it's
did.
that,
Always do.
and people don't realize the power, but the shows like this, where you're just calling it like you see it and saying, this is suspect to me, I'm just going to say what I think about this. That's how it all changes.
Well, I think for saying
you make a major difference in what transpires by what you put out there.
Definitely.
You are definitely the link that most people need to be able to take a look at what's real.
Yeah. And you're highly visible, which is great. Hey, I've got a question for you about this dropping thing out of the bottom of the spaceship, because we've talked to a number of abductees. Carl Higdon was one out in Wyoming, and they even liked him. I mean, the alien that took him, they had a respect for Carl. Carl was a man's man, he was a man of few words. We loved having him on the show. And they dumped him out of the bottom of the spaceship. And of course, he injured his shoulder, which became a lifelong injury. Why do they do that? I mean, it seems like, can't you just like drop them off like gently? I mean, they just pull them out of the bottom and then everybody gets hurt. They get a concussion, it kills them, or they get an injured
And
shoulder.
he's lucky he probably hit a bush or something, because I'm assuming if they dropped him, I mean, it could have been from 20 feet, so maybe he only injured his shoulder because they weren't that high yet. But if you take it into the perspective of, we all like to go have a hamburger once in a while. We just do. We're a fast food society worldwide.
Right. For sure.
We don't ask cows if they want to be slaughtered. We just don't. And when we're done slaughtering them, if the slaughtered cow has had all the meat taken and it's in the back of a truck, we push it out of the back of the truck. We just do that. We don't ask them. Yeah. And if the cow that we've slaughtered is still somewhat alive, we're still taking meat from it. I would say that for aliens who are dissecting a human because they want to genetically know what humans are made of, and they are of a species that just has no emotional capacity, for them, it's no different than you and I going to a fast food restaurant and ordering a hamburger. You're not thinking through what occurs, and I eat hamburgers too. Yeah. I'm just saying that it's not a process. You have to remember, in my opinion, as insane of the amount of races just on our planet and factions, and even with the human race, where I consider us trying to do the right thing. Do we make mistakes? Yeah, we do, definitely, as a race. But do we have a faction that's maybe rough? The Nazis, for sure. We have that faction within the human race. It's a faction of us. So now you're talking about just on our planet. You're talking about literally all of these races and all of these factions and pieces of any given group that's within those factions, political groups or whatever else, of individuals within those groups. Now take it to the multiverse level. You're talking about trillions of galaxies only in our galaxy. And there's trillions of planets only in our galaxy, and there's trillions of galaxies, right?
Yes.
So then you're going, okay, wait a minute. We're exponentially taking the number of races, especially advanced ones that can travel here and have been traveling here and live within the planet and around the planet and work multidimensionally, like the reptilians who can appear to you from the lower fourth density where they appear, where they live. They can appear to you in the third density. Nordics can start from the seventh density and appear to you in the third density. Many, many encounters with so many alien races. And they're working multidimensionally. So if you just sit with that for a moment, talk to the secret space program people, where there's so many now coming forward from working in all these various planets, working with the same alien races, working with the Nazis and the reptilians. They're all saying the same things. None of them knew each other in the secret space programs. Once you start tying it together, you realize, oh my God, there's not just alien races. There is trillions of alien races, and most of them are much older than we are, meaning think technology. They have the capability and technology to arrive here and probe Roswell, going, what are the humans doing with this new firecracker called nuclear weapons? What are they going to blow up the planet? We need that planet for it. The universe is tied like a super delicate spider's web. You destroy a planet and it affects everything.
Everybody, yes. Yes.
But having said that, come back to the simple thing of this guy dropping. Of all the races that could possibly be here wanting to check out a human, they find this dude walking along. What's his name?
Carl Higdon. He was hunting elk.
Yeah, they find Carl. He's out in the what, and they're like, "There's a human right there. Let's just pick him up." Now, this race could be completely void.
Yeah.
Of any emotion. They can be AI created. The Draco reptilians, in my opinion, are completely AI. Their ships are completely AI. Just remember, AI can drink blood too. So I'm just saying that everything that's coming, like people say, it can't be AI. They're known to eat humans. AI can eat humans. AI can feed. AI can be given energy from. They can create. AI can literally do anything.
Wow.
So I'm just saying that,
Lord.
whatever alien race picked up this poor Carl wanted to check him for some things. They can even be nice to him in the moment. And maybe his memory of being treated well is part of their agenda. Okay, we'll telepathically let him know that he's going to be fine. We'll tell him right now he's not in pain, and then he's not in pain because they have neural engagement capability where they can literally set off chemicals in your body to where even if they're stabbing you, they can be like, you won't remember this and you're not in pain, and you'll just go,
you'll just forget about it. You'll find the marks.
And I'm not making that up. That's just from years and years of research of people who have been abducted and had horrific, continuous, ongoing. They're abducted all the time, men and women, and families, etc., where they're put through horrific procedures, told they won't remember it. Some of the family members don't, but some do. I'm just saying that the mind wipe technology doesn't always work. But coming back to your question, whoever picked up Carl perhaps wanted him to remember that, aliens are nice. And having said that, let's just dump him out because we're done with the experiment. We don't really care about him. So there you go. That's the MD Selig take on Carl's predicament.
I got it.
And he's lucky he only got a shoulder wound.
I know it.
For sure.
I know it. Some of these missing 411 cases end up much worse. So, yes. But
and I'm not trying to be flippant about Carl. Look,
no,
I get it. I mean it when I say, for anyone who's had any experience, I mean, homage to you that you came forward, that you had the guts to say it, because everyone's going to say you're crazy. And, I mean it when I say, Carl, I'm only giving an example of the alien race that perhaps abducted you.
Yeah.
But as you as a human, I'm sorry that you had that experience. And I hope there was something gained from it. Obviously, you're helping us
there was
understand.
A couple of things I just mentioned that were unusual about his experience. One is they sent him back. They brought him back because he had had a vasectomy. So he wasn't going to fit into their breeding situation. So back he went. And this alien who picked him up, I mean, I felt it, a genuine respect for each other. Again, Carl, man's man, out hunting elk. By the way, the aliens took all the elk. And so Carl came back, and he had tuberculosis and a lot of scarring in his lungs. Well, he was half out of his mind when they dumped him. But the sheriff's office had people out looking for him. They brought him to the hospital. And when they x-rayed his lungs, all the scarring was gone. So Carl did get a benefit there. And they had given him these little pills that he took, and his blood was super enriched, which they could not explain why that happened. So he did get a couple of bonuses for his experience.
But Patricia, the elk, they took the elk.
They took the elk. They
weren't that nice.
No, as Carl said, they took my elk.
You took my elk. I don't care about my shoulder wound. I want my elk
back.
That was Carl. God bless him.
Yeah.
But this is very helpful. I have a question about which agencies are the ones that come and harass people. For example, the Andreasen affair, Betty Andreasen and her husband, Bob.
Right.
They were hunted by, I don't know who. Well, they stayed at my house. My house was broken into, and the alarm never went off. I mean, we knew what it was. We just didn't know who it was. But also, I had experience because I knew them and because I was involved in the investigation where I was drugged in my own house. So my dog and I woke up at 3:00 in the afternoon after this happened. Totally unusual for me and my dog, Angel, at the time. But my question to you is, who did this? Is it FBI? Is it CIA? Is it NSA? Who's doing this?
So it started right after. So just remember, I'll phrase everything with, it's the cabal first. This is a small group of individuals, in my opinion, who manipulate. They're a small group of wealthy individuals who literally manipulate world events above all governments. So I'll just say this, from the standpoint of who physically came to your house, generally who the cabal would direct to do that would be the National Reconnaissance Office. Now, the National Reconnaissance Office years ago, if you even named them, that could be deadly.
Wow.
They are known as the super spooks. Now, just remember and you'll read about this in Hush, the National Reconnaissance Office was the agency imprinted on the videos of the teleportation of MH370. It's NRO satellite L-22 that is recording from two separate Reaper drones, Air Force Reaper drones, a Boeing 777 on its final flight that's in flight and on fire from two separate angles. Those are NRO stamped videos.
Oh my God.
Of when the jet vanishes. I won't tell you too much, but it's all in Hush. But what I'm getting at is that the NRO would have sent out, and this is back in the day. Now it's way more evolved since the 40s. The FBI has its own very similar wing now that will go out. Any agency can now have an alien section that you're not going to know about. The FBI section just became public maybe 2 years ago, where someone said I had alien agents from the FBI coming to talk to me about my alien experience, and they were from a wing of the FBI. But I guess what's important is you got through it. You obviously said the right things, and you're here. Yeah. All I'm saying is it's good to speak about it, but remember, it doesn't matter who from your own government came to speak to you. Okay. It's above our government. If you're looking for a congressperson to give you disclosure, to open the alien museum and say, here's all the ships we found. Yeah. You're not going to get it from our government. All the congressional hearings, all of that is what I call limited hangout. Uh-huh. It's just fluff that the cabal has a few operatives within the government who are paid well to keep their mouth shut, and they say the sound bites, and they also control individuals within the government. Remember, our government revolves all the time. Most senators and House members can only be in 2 years, sometimes 4 if they're lucky. Presidents come and go every 4 years generally. Okay.
Yeah, they're gone.
None of those folks are cleared above top secret 17. And remember, all alien-related technology projects that are reverse engineered at S4, at Kirtland, that's all above top secret level 17, including financial. So the government only gets to see the B-1B bomber, which is top secret 16, let's say, and the fiscal operatives within the government who are below top secret 17, like the president's level is top secret 17, they can see the B-1B being worked on by Lockheed Martin. What they don't see for Lockheed Martin is top secret 17 and above, called unacknowledged special access programs. And those are all having to do with alien-related technologies, and they're worldwide. So Lockheed Martin can have many groups working on a small section of a spaceship, and they have no idea what they're working on. They're like, this is the cubicle we want you to design. You're going to finish it, and we're going to pay you lots of money, and you're going to keep your mouth shut, and you're working on this module. Well, when that module is assembled, maybe even off-world, it's a spaceship. And the company who works for Lockheed Martin, because it's a conglomerate, has no idea what they're working on. I mean, they have a sense, like this is, we need to make sure that this works in anti-gravity. So they pretty much know what they're doing, but they're paid well to keep their mouth shut. And that's been going on since the 40s.
Yeah. Do you
unacknowledged special access programs?
Because of what you know and your background and your ability to see past, do you feel that you're in danger?
I don't. This is what's occurring right now. So the cabal could certainly shoot me and silence my voice, right? But those of us that are coming from love,
got it.
We're bringing it.
Got it.
And that is unstoppable.
Yes, it is.
Good.
Yes. The heart matters.
Good to know. Good to know.
How many levels of top secret are there? So there's 17, and then how many after that? What is that, 3 or 333?
33. 33.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of classifications. Like it can be a rhyolite, top secret 23. And if it's got rhyolite before it, it means something else, like for the Dulce underground complex. So even within top secret 18 and above, it can be top secret 22 rhyolite level Q clearance. I mean, let's put it this way. In the early 1950s, the CIA, the way they went rogue with Area 51, right. Think Alan Dulles, think James Angleton, think most likely those guys were even either alien hybrids, if not full reptilians in human bodies. Mm-hmm. But the way they went rogue with Area 51 is they just bought the property early in the early 50s, and then they immediately said, okay, the only people that can access this property are top secret level 18 and above. Now, you two remember Ike, and you remember Ike was mad about what was going on at Area 51 because he couldn't access it. He was so mad, he threatened, I'm going to send the Third Army over there, blah, blah, blah. And they said, I tell you what, why don't you send 2 of your higher level top secret operatives? So he was able to send the 2 guys. One of them eventually becomes a whistleblower and said, I'm there with the other guy, basically representing Ike, and they take us down, and we basically get to interview a Zeta Reticulae who our impression of him was he was a devil because these guys were both heavy-duty Christians. Oh, yeah. And so you get to see their interviews are online, or at least one of them, their interview is online, and they said, we then came back and we sat down with Ike, and we said, this is what we saw, and that was the end of that. What's fascinating is that you'll both remember the end of Ike's tenure when he's leaving office. He gives the very now famous speech where he tried to warn all humanity. He basically said, I want you to know I'm not in control. The Congress is not in control. It is now the military-industrial complex. Right. That was the most he could say without getting shot. And guess who gets shot right past him? Who wanted to say more? Kennedy. And he even tried to warn Kennedy, like, they're here and those threats are real. You better heed them. And Kennedy, being a young chutzpah, and just like, no, because Kennedy was involved with the aliens because of Forrestal, who was thrown out the 16th floor of Bethesda Military Hospital for wanting to go public with the alien presence that was occurring at that time. That's the cabal at the beginnings taking care of business. And Ike was warned several times. He wanted to make that speech before he was departing office several times to say, I'm no longer in control. I'm trying to tell you, we, the president and Congress, we don't even have any idea what's occurring. I'm just telling you that there are, and Ike was highly aware of the aliens because of the 1954 Edwards meeting where he got to see live aliens and interact with them. Mm-hmm. And he thought the world is not ready for this. He asked them to just kind of depart, and everything was closed down from that Edwards meeting. At that point, it was called Muir Field. Still, a lot of people still call it Muir Field at the time. But that is a well-documented, which will be in my second series. And this is good. So the next book will cover part of the Eisenhower weekend where he supposedly disappeared for a dentist appointment and almost died.
Dentist appointment, yes, exactly. Yeah. This is so wonderful. You know, MD, having you on the show, you've given us more real information than anybody about this topic. And we are so appreciative.
Definitely.
I'm tired of hearing these other stories. We know they're not true. Whereas what you're talking about, we know it's true. This is how
you feel threatened.
Thank you.
Yourself personally.
No, it's like I said, you know, I'm coming from love, and they can take me out or silence my voice, but this thing that we're bringing,
bigger than everything.
From love.
It's coming from love.
It's the cabal is on the run right now, and I believe you're going to find in the next year and a half a significant inward direction for humanity, where we're all going to connect via love. And when we step into what we are, when we explode into who we are as humans, we're literally considered royalty by the alien races that are out there because of our capacity to love, and they know what we're about to evolve into. The reason all of the malevolent aliens are here is because of fear.
Gosh.
They're trying to control us, but it's not working. It's about to happen right now, the next year and a half.
Yay. We're going to triumph.
Thought they were in Congress right now.
MD, will you come back, please? We can talk to
definitely.
you. Bring you back.
I'd be happy to come back any day and hang out with you two.
Okay,
great.
thank you. This has been just so wonderful and exciting. And I'm getting a prompt here from Bill. We've got a wrap, which I hate to do. Bill, can you put the book on one more time? I want everybody to see that beautiful cover for Hush.
It's a beautiful book.
Yes. Well, thank you. So
It's been my honor. It's been my honor.
Our delight.
A blast.
Our audience, definitely.
Oh, they're going to
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And everybody, we will be back next week with another great show. And until then, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. That's code for Dream World. So we'll see you on the Blue Highway. That's your Dream World. We'll meet you there.
Good.
Have a great night, everybody. Thank you.